Morning, my name is Marc Vun Kannon. I am the author of a number of fantasy short stories and science fiction novels. I have short stories here. My very first novel is Unbinding the Stone, which basically attacked me in order to make me write it. I came up with this book as a dream sequence that I had one night, which is very unusual for me since I usually don't remember my dreams. And I told my wife about it. And my wife actually said those magic words, "That sounds like it would make a good book." So it did after a while. I got some more stuff out of my head, and I just sat and wrote, and the more I wrote, the more there was to write. So eventually, Unbinding the Stone turned into a second book, A Warrior Made, and I'm currently working on a third book now, which will continue the series, and I don't know how long it will continue after that. However, I have taken a break from the fantasy for a while, and I'm currently writing some science fiction. This is a werewolf adventure set on a haunted lunar colony called St. Martin's Moon. It actually came to me, this story. I had this idea in a bookstore. I was looking at a bookshelf looking for some new stuff, and I came across a book with the title Blood Moon, and I thought to myself, the very first thing I thought was, it's a werewolf attack on a lunar colony. Great idea. And then, of course, I read the back of the book, and it wasn't a werewolf attack on a lunar colony, but it was still a great idea. And so I took that idea and I turned it into this. It did take me 4 years, because this book is not a standard book in any way, shape, or form. I currently have just finished my latest novel, which is not printed, published, or in any way available. It is Ghost Killer. It's about a man who kills ghosts for a living. If you want to know how I came up with this one, I was talking with a friend who introduced me to the TV show Phineas and Ferb, where, I don't know if you know the show, they have a standard running joke where somebody says, "Aren't you boys a little bit young to be doing something, piloting a fishing trawler, running a game casino," I don't know. And then they would have some standard joke on that one. And so I took that line, "Aren't you boys a little bit young to be," and I added it to my current favorite novel at the time, which was, of all things, the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series. And I came up with, "Aren't you a little bit young to be raising the dead?" And the story progresses from there. So it is the story of a man who basically raises the dead in order to kill them. It gets more complicated from that. It became much more than I ever expected it would be, but that's the way all my stories work. I usually have a first line, a first position that I start from, and then it all grows from there. But when I get to the end, I never have any idea how I got there, because I start where I begin and I just keep on going. That's the only way it works.